something that I haven't done in a minute has been going on Reddit, DM Academy, and just looking at what people need help in and seeing what advice I can give for those questions at hand. Now, I've been a DM for 10 years, and in the past, when I usually do this, I usually be spot on. Something I like to do is see if the top comment follows what I've been, what I was saying. So let's see if I still got it. It's been a minute since we've done this. I made a really brutal call for a player that sold their soul, and I keep feeling a bit uneasy about it. Ooh, I've been there before. I've been there where like you've made a call and you feel like you're too rough about it. Now, I mean, it's a tabletop game. You can always take back what you said. So let's see what this person says, and let's see how we go about it, and how we can do it in game and stuff like that. So a few months ago, my players went to the Hells, as one does, and one of them, an edgy dwarven rogue, made a deal with the devil for help during the fight. With the archdevil they needed to take down. It basically turned a deadly encounter to an average encounter. That's really cool. I made sure it was a powerful feeling boon to have this help. Okay, was it temporary? How does that work? Fast forward to yesterday, that player died in combat right near the end of the fight. Unfortunate. The cleric rushed over to cast Revivify, as they do on such a rare occasion, so I had the PC's body rise as if they were alive, and then it spoke in a voice not its own. Hello, friends. Sorry, but he's mine now, and the body fell limp. Ooh, that is sick. I actually really, really like this. That was where we ended the session, and the room just had a weird vibe. Uh-oh. I mean, this is probably a character So a few months ago. Oh man, so there's no time to fix this. One player was on my side. The cleric was arguing because I had the diamond consumed and felt like his power got undercut. And the player was just kind of quiet and left a bit after. Ooh. Okay. Before I read the last paragraph, there are a couple ways of looking at this. We're hearing this from a biased point of view. Let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind, everybody. I think this song is way too happy. I think, like, if everything went as you said, like, let's say that it was the player's ideas to talk to the demon and to sell their soul, right? I think that's fine. I think you improvising, yes-anding, and going along with it was great. He finally dies. Okay, so a couple months ago this happened, and you had this set up. You had this in your back pocket for a while. Okay, I like this even more now. So he dies. You keep it. I'm still okay with you using the resources for the body. I think the cleric's just being butthurt for no reason. He has no soul to bring back, which I think is a specification of the spell. I'm okay with this. I'm 100% okay with this. I think I don't think anything wrong has happened yet. I think the players are being butthurt for no reason. They don't like it when things don't go their way. That's what I'm learning right now. So either you don't do this kind of stuff often where you like hurt the players, or the players, or this is you played this off weirdly and the players are not happy with it. I don't know. There's something we're missing here. But I think the way to save this is like not completely punishing them. But like, let's say he was like reincarnated, or like his soul was actually put into like a squirrel or a goblin, or like just something not of his own. And now for this dungeon, he has to experience it as like a pigeon. And he has to figure out how to play as a pigeon till the game essentially finishes. Or until he gets his body back. If he succeeds at getting his body back. So, like, there's a chance he could just not get his body back. His soul won't return to it. I kind of had this in my back pocket. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could tell. Since that was made. And now that I've done it, it just feels dirty. I think you're fine. I think like, it's okay to be a little dirty every once in a while as a DM. But, like, what did they think selling their soul meant? I don't think you should go at it in this fashion. Don't I don't think you should look at it like this. I think looking at it like this is a wrong way. It can lead down a rabbit hole of bad habits as a DM. I used to think of it this way. I think like Dungeons and Dragons, most importantly and foremost, is just a giant game of telephone, right? Like you can say that your players are standing on a cliff and there is a mountainscape in front of them, and right at the foot of the cliff is a goblin camp. You could say that, but everyone's going to see something completely different. One person might see something from Lord of the Rings, right? They're imagining these European mountains and these beautiful European forests that lead up to the mountains, while other people are probably imagining Adventure Time, where they have these cartoony mountains and there's no forest. It's nothing but grass and plains with a random encampment at the bottom. So, like, whenever you say, okay, I sell my soul to someone, you know, that there's so many different sources of medias and different influences out there that can let people experience selling their soul in different matters. So like Ghost Rider, for example, he sold his soul to the devil, but he became more powerful. Whereas like other people sell their souls and they drop off. So the mindset of what did you expect was going to happen, I think needs to be change. I think you need to, and I had to change my way of looking at this too, whereas like, I didn't see it that way, right? Like instead of saying what did you expect, be like, I didn't see it that way, okay, and then go along with it. I think yes and should apply to DMs just as much as it applies to players. I don't know, thoughts? Maybe just moral support. I haven't tried to speak to anyone since the session, so my advice to you, again, the way I would play this out is put his soul in a different body, right? You want to challenge the players, not punish the players. If the expectation is when the player dies, he is now dead because he doesn't have a soul, he needs to know that. This needs to be hinted at in some way or another. You need to tell him that he feels empty. He feels like a husk. You need to, until he figures it out, you need to give him dreams. You need to constantly tell him he feels cold. You need to constantly just like give him the idea that, you know, his emotions, like he knows he should be feeling angry or sad or happy right now, but those emotions just aren't sputtering out. You need to be giving context clues that something bad is going to happen to him. He doesn't know just yet. By making arcane checks and by making, or maybe going and researching it or talking to an NPC, he can figure out that him losing his soul means that death is inevitable for him, and that not even magic or the arcane arts can go far. Magic. Not even religious acts or necromancy or magic or the arcane arts can go back to resurrect him. If you want it to play out that way, because again, you need to understand that the players aren't going to see the same game that you're seeing. They never will. No matter how hard you try, they will never see it the same way you do. So the second way of doing it is I still assume people see the same thing that I see. You can't be without fault. Once you realize that that there has been a misunderstanding, or that the players, that this is more of a punishing feature than a challenging feature, because there is a difference. You should go with the option that I brought up the first time, like put them into a squirrel's body and have them go on a quest to get the soul. That because I think there's nothing good out of punishment. But challenge is different, because he can still die. He can still die and lose his character and have to roll another character. That's what I think. Let's see what the comments have to say, and we'll go on from there. I'm going to disagree with the current trend of comments a bit. Oh, what? It's got 3,000 updates. Let's see. If you sell your fucking soul to a literal devil, you do not get to go surprise Pikachu when said devil takes your soul. He's going against exactly what I said. So I'm assuming most of the comments said what I said, like put him in a squirrel, put him in something else. This is, in my opinion, you got to think of like a video game, right? Imagine you're playing a video game. I'm sorry, I'm playing Nintendo music because it's March 10th. It's Mario Day. It's my day. Imagine you're playing a video game. But this video game, like, you have no respawns. I think video games get to flex mechanics like this a little better because you get to respawn. So you get to do crazy stuff like sell your soul to a devil, and then you die, and then like you know the game ends. But you get to respawn. You get to rethink your decisions. In Dungeons and Dragons, you don't really get to rethink your decisions. So you have to think of ways of how to replace the respawn when it comes to like the game mechanics of Dungeons and Dragons. And this is how I look at a lot of my D&D experience, or whenever I DM. Or I like, again, I do agree that like you shouldn't just give a safety vest to the players at all times, and they should get hurt for their actions and consequences. But if you're not making it clear that that's going to happen, then you are being a bad dungeon master, in my opinion. So let's see. So there's a. So like I do agree with this. That's why I said like you need to give clues. Can I? I don't want to do that. Okay, let's just go. And if you sell your soul to achieve something, your next top priority should be working to get your contract voided. Agreed. Not running into some other dangerous situation. I agree. But I don't. Again, like there's so many different iterations of selling your soul. What does it actually mean to sell your soul? How do you? Oh, okay, that's how you do it. I know how to do it on the phone, but I don't know how to do it. Okay. If any player expects good results from the devil with the deal, that's on them. I agree. Sorry, I absolutely love this. I think like all of us here are like agreeing. Like we love the situation. The players are being a bit butthurt, and we are hearing it from a biased point of view. It should feel dirty, dude. Sold is sold to a devil. Of course, it's bloody dirty. Players feels hard done by he sold his soul to the devil. He keeps emphasizing. Cleric feels hard done by. Damn straight he should. He had one job: protect the party as a cleric. That includes their souls. The only thing I may have done differently is to approach the cleric sometime soon after the deal point of his character might be feeling pretty unhappy with the deal and should concern about the consequences. To me, this feels like a failure of the cleric to identify and attempt to remedy the situation. I think he did a great job. I think the DM did a great job, but I think like this is a collaborative storytelling. It shouldn't ever be the players against the party, and I think everyone. And what I'm putting together the puzzle pieces here, I think everyone is upset because they know that their character is dead, and they know that their character is dead based on a misunderstanding. And that's probably the worst way to die, right? If you die because you got 3 natural ones in a row, if you died because you're doing a hero sacrifice, if you died because you're like, I want to do something stupid, I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try it, and it ends up screwing you over. Those are all ways that I think that players will be less butthurt about it. If you die because you misunderstood what selling your soul to the devil means, which for most people seems clear cut as day, but again, we don't know how they played out the situation. We don't know how their previous experiences with this DM is. Then, yeah, I can understand being way more butthurt than you normally could. How can you be more clear than you sold your soul to the devil? Are there multiple ways to sell your soul? Yeah, there are. There are multiple ways to sell your soul. What you sell your soul for, yes. But everything I know about selling your soul is you die, they get your soul. But like, there's many cases in anime. So like, think about Harry Potter. We were just playing Harry Potter today, right? So like, Voldemort. In Harry Potter universe, you can break your soul apart into pieces, right? In the Marvel universe, many people have sold their soul to the devil, but they don't like lose themselves, like Ghost Rider, right? There's many instances where like your soul can be condemned in one way or another, but it's not necessarily like the worst case for you. So I do agree 100%, but I think like as a DM, you have to be open-minded to how like people can be idiots. That's it. Like people can be really stupid in Dungeons and Dragons. You'll be so surprised. That's a good one. I like that one. That was a good one. Let's do one more. That's a tough one. That's a tough situation. I think the DM was correct. I think the ways to help remedy that with that group is to do those things that I offered. But I do agree. I don't think the DM really did anything wrong. Fellow DMs, how would you rule this? Oh boy. This is a topic for rule lawyers. Rule lawyers are going to hate me because I think rules are stupid and I break them all the time for a better experience, for a more fulfilling experience in the game than anything else. So, let's see how this goes. Fellow DMs, how would you rule this? A single class Aasimar, I like to call it Aasimar, Protector, Divine Soul Sorcerer at 8th level is granted 1 wish. You're giving an 8th level person a wish? This is what they came up with. I wish to have all my spell slots and sorcery points restored once a day on a short rest while not affecting my recovery on a long rest. Pick it apart and tell me your opinion. Okay, before I read what he says, that's such a good wish. I mean, wizards have this. What, wizards get to restore their spell slots at that level, right? Like, I honestly, one, why the fuck are you giving someone at level 8 a wish spell? This is your own fault. This is your own fault as a DM. You fucked up, all right? Secondly, it's not that broken. Like you as a DM still control the pace of the game. There's nothing... They could have wished for something way more powerful. I just let them have it. If I really didn't want them to have a short rest, I could just interrupt it. I could just interrupt it. I could just send enemies at them. If I really didn't want them to have a short rest, and it's not that hard. It's annoying. Don't get me wrong. It's real annoying. But while they're resting and taking advantage of the situation, and you didn't plan your encounter to have a rest in it, one, you could just let them mollywop everything and do whatever they want to do. Or two, you could just buff the encounter while they're resting. Like, I know that's like some behind the scenes shenanigans. I just feel like they could have wished for something way stronger. I get like a sorcerer getting their sorcery points back with a short rest is kind of nuts. However, I feel like it's not that crazy. That's me. My inclination would be to grant either the spell slots or the sorcery points, but not both in one wish. I'm okay with that. I like that. I actually like that. I didn't even think about that. Because they're technically asking for 2 things. Not one thing. They're asking for 2 things. If they wanted both, here's what I would do. This is fucked up of me, but here's what I would do. I would put them at like half health. Like they'd lose half their health, or they'd lose like a quarter of their health forever. Like their maximum HP is now like a quarter less than what it used to be. But now when they full rest, they get their spell slots and sorcery points back. That's what I would do. Or a third. It depends on if they had like 20 health, they now have 15 health. Like they just lose 5 points of health forever, and then like, you know, they can continue on from there. Let's see what other people say. I want to allow it because it breaks mechanics of the game and also feels metagame. No, shut up. Yeah, who cares? Go. Did people agree with him? Hold on. That's dumb. Yeah, you can phrase it as, how would your character know the mechanics of the... Oh, shut up. Stop it. These are rule lawyers right here. I always play my spellcaster as getting tired, irritable, and having... That's stupid. I don't think I'd allow that. The power budget of a wish is on the order of resistance to the damage type of for 10 people. Now, I'd consider if the wish to be able to... Again, why are you giving the wish spell to a level 8th person? Do 3 times, or why are you not allowing this? I'm basing my call on 30 plus years of 2nd edition wishes. I have only recently picked up 5th edition, so my knowledge base is a little limited. Thanks for the advice. These people are lame. These are not fun DMs. It's far too powerful even at 20th level. It is. It's a stupid stupid spell. Like, the fact that you gave him at level 8 is where you fucked up. Another solution may be they now use the spell. Okay, let me tell you why I disagree with the comment section right now. I'm going to be a contrarian real quick. I 100% disagree with the comment section because, one, I don't think any of these guys would give their players the wish spell. So, like, they wouldn't be put in this situation. But if you are in this situation, which this guy is, it's a wish spell. It's a level 9th level spell. It's fucking OP. It's the strongest spell in the game. And if you restrict the strongest spell in the game, it just feels like what's the point? What was the point of giving them something so epic? All these people, I don't think I'll allow it. The power budget of Wish is in order. These guys are lame. These guys are lame. Allow it. Allow it. Do something like get rid of their health. Do something. Yes, and yes. One, my first piece of advice is don't give Wish to a level fucking 8 person. And if you do happen to find yourself in this situation, and they ask for something that's kind of metagamey like this, it's okay. It's okay. I don't think resting. I feel like resting is in 100% complete control of the DM. If the DM is allowing you to rest, it's because the DM wants you to be ready for the next fight. That's it. That's it. So that's why I don't think this is so powerful. The illusion of choice is so ingrained in my head. Like, the players think they're in control of the game, but they never are. They never are. I only give them the illusion that they are. It's a good question. Because I know a lot of DMs do this. They want their players to feel powerful. They want their players to feel rewarded. They see this really cool thing, and they just give it to them. They hit the gun really quickly, and they do that kind of stuff. So tell me, what would you have done down below in the comment section? And Real World Lawyer would actually take apart the wish and not bother with, would the character know this? I know, yeah, a rules lawyer would take apart the wish spell and just be real stupid about it. I was just about to end the video, but like, oh, I went to YouTube. But like, if you look at, hold on, I have an app on my phone. We'll just read it on my phone. If you look at the wish spell, right? To my memory, it's pretty flexible. Basically, you can cast any spell you want with Wish. So, like, if you're a wizard and you want to cast, like, Resurrect spell, that's kind of, like, what it's there for. Wish is the mightiest spell a mortal creature can cast. Yep. The basic use of spells to duplicate any other 8th level spell or lower. Yeah, to duplicate it. You create one object for about 25,000. You allow up to 20 creatures you can see to regain all their hit points. You grant up to 10 creatures. So these are just things you can do. You undo a single recent event by forcing a reroll. What a waste of a wish spell. You might be able to achieve something beyond the scopes above. Examples state your wish to the DM as precisely as possible. The DM has great latitude in ruling what occurs in such an instance. The greater the wish, the greater the likelihood something goes wrong. The spell might simply fail. The effect you desire might... The spell might simply fail. That sucks. That gives so many DMs, like, the ability to just fuck someone over. Now, to be fair, if you're just able to cast Wish willy-nilly once a day, then, like, who cares if one of your spells fail? Like, if someone wished for the world to just for the stars to explode, yeah, you could just have the spell fail. But, like, why not? The spell might simply fail. The effects you desire might only partly achieve, or you might suffer some unforeseen consequences. I like the suffering the unforeseen consequences as a result of how you worded the wish spell. Here's the thing. Here's my thing. This is the logic in my head, right? My head, when someone asks for the ability to have their spell slots and sorcery points restored during short rest, the first thing I think about is like, oh, wizards do that. It's just sorcerers can't do it because, you know, they have sorcery points and, like, that makes them really strong. But, like, wizards do that. Who else does that? Who else does it? Fighters can do it, right? Am I right? It's fighters. I think monks. But in my head, I'm like, oh, wizards get it, like, really early. So it's like, I don't care. I do not care. And you know what's funny? I bet some of these guys that are like saying I don't allow it probably play a heavily modified version of 5th edition that is unrecognizable. They probably play like a version of 5th edition where everybody gets to use combat maneuvers as fighters and stuff like that because they're like, oh yeah, because 5e sucks and I want to play the old version of D&D or like something that's similar to Pathfinder, but then you're just like, but then they don't allow something like this with a wish spell. I'm being very judgmental right now. I think it's fine. I would just allow it. I would allow it with no stipulations. Here's the thing. Here's another thing. You can always backtrack. I don't think anyone will ever, even, this is something I learned from Matt Mercer, is let's say you give them something too powerful that you didn't realize how strong it was going to end up being. You can later have those unforeseen consequences start creeping up. So if you gave someone a magic weapon that's just like, it's too strong and it's proving to be a little too much, that weapon can end up being cursed. Like the curse could have been dormant and then it comes out and then they have to go on a quest to drop the curse. But now the weapon is a little bit weaker, you know? Or they could keep the curse and then the curse is just detrimental to the party. Like you could do stuff like that. You can play test and change things all the time in your game. So just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of something like this. Don't be afraid of something that even wizards get that you can have fun with. And if it does end up being too strong for the way that you play in your DM, nerf it. Have those unforeseen consequences occur, right? Just be like, oh shit, oh no, it only lasted for a week. Oh man, that sucks. Or just straight up talk to your player. Just be like, hey man, look, this ended up being stronger than I thought it'd be. Like, are you okay if we just like nerf this, or we can think of some way to balance this? You are playing a tabletop game with socially with other people. And if someone is being arguable about that, being like, no, you gave this to me, they're a fucking toxic player and you should just kick them from the group entirely. Now, if they're your girlfriend and they give you the gok at night, you know, maybe rethink that. Maybe ask for more gok if they get to be OP. You know what I mean? All right, guys, until next time. Play nice.